Let's do a small grounding before we actually begin. Let's find our feet on the floor. Sense if your back is straight. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes, or you can just lower your gaze and bring your attention to your breathing. And just notice how you're breathing today. How fast or slow you're breathing. The temperature of the air that you're breathing. The intention here is to let go of whatever has happened during the day and make ourselves fully available for the present moment. And now let's synchronize our breathing. I'll tell you what I'm doing. See if you can follow along. I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. Breathing in with my nose. Letting go with my mouth. One more time, breathing in and releasing. Come back to normal breathing. Become aware of where you are seated. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you for joining, everyone, and also for being on time. I had actually asked my PhD guide to say a few words about this topic, and I don't see him. Sir, are you online? Have you joined? No, he's not there. And if he joins, I'll just pause my presentation and I'll ask him to say a few words about this topic. This is a very dear topic for him and for me. And let me share my screen and then we can get started. Okay. You are seeing my screen? Yeah, okay, fine. So the topic here is which is the best Vedic astrology software? You know, when I started studying this subject, which is around 27 years ago, we didn't have software. We did everything by hand. And I started developing shortcuts in the mathematics for computing a birth chart. And using the shortcuts, when I timed myself, it took me 16 hours to complete making the birth chart. 16 hours is not at one sitting, right? It takes several sittings to do that. And this is using my own shortcuts. The next step in that process, and at that time, was when Excel had just been released. I don't know if you're familiar with Excel, Microsoft Excel. So I started implementing whatever I was learning about mathematics and astrology in Excel. So the two I started learning together, astrology and Excel. So as I developed my own software in Excel, I started learning more and more of astrology, and then one just helped the other. And the two have been with me ever since. But today, now we don't need to spend 16 hours for making a birth chart. It comes within a second. Right? and we have so many different applications, so many different software to use. The question becomes, which is the right one? Which should we use for our practice? And this is what I have done my PhD research on. And I'm going to simplify it very much in this session. And also, I'm going to make this hands-on, where all of us are going to try, to be part of this research in our own way. But what exactly are we going to do? Imagine getting a blood report, right? You go to a lab, you give them a few drops of your blood, and after half an hour, after a few hours, you get a report. You take that report to a doctor. These are two different institutions, right? One is the lab who is making the report, and the other is the medical profession who is interpreting what that report says. Yeah, it's the same with astrology. Software is one institution, and the astrologer who interprets what that software says is a second institution. Yeah. Now, in this webinar, we are not going to be interpreting anything. Right? What does sun mean in Pisces? What is this conjunction all about? Why do we have an eclipse? We're not going to be interpreting anything. We are just going to focus on the software, on the numbers that the software generates, right? But of course, a good software needs to be usable, it needs to be economical. We look at all that, but we are not going to be interpreting any of the numbers. So what will we do? We will compare different birth chart using the same, we'll compare different software using the same birth chart. Right? We will make the same birth chart in multiple software, and then we will see what results we get in each. We will only start comparing the numbers. There are so many different variables that we won't be able to cover all of them, right? Just the starting numbers is what we will take up today. And we will not interpret. Okay? Whatever that number is, let it be. We are not going to touch the interpretation. Which software, right? So I reached out to many of you and asking if there's any software that you are using that you would like to volunteer for taking the research. And I came up with many options from my own side and also what the group has recommended. This includes AstroSage, AstroYogi. This is just in alphabetical order: Devaguru, Drik Panchang, there's Horosoft, there's Jagannatha Hora, there's Jyotish app, and Parashara's Light. I don't know if all of them who selected this software is in the group, but let's take a look right now. The question arises, how do you decide which is the best software? How do you decide which is the correct number? If I give my blood to two different labs and they give me two different reports, how do I know which is the correct one? It's the same thing over here, right? If one software says the longitude is 10 degrees and another software says the longitude is 11 degrees, how do you know which is the correct one? Yeah. So for this, what we do is to compare all these software to something called the Rashtriya Panchang. Yeah? What is the Rashtriya Panchang? Rashtriya means national, right? The nations. Panchang, the literal translation is 5 components. Pancha is 5, Anga is fingers, right? So the 5 components of a day. But what Panchang actually refers to is the ephemeris. So this is the national ephemeris. What is that? What is an ephemeris? It gives the positions of planets on a day-to-day basis. But it's the nationals, it's the nation's ephemeris. This ephemeris is published by the government of India. Right? Let's look at the Rashtriya Panchang. Right? It comes under the Ministry of Earth Sciences. Government of India, and it's computed by an institution called the Positional Astronomy Center, which is in Calcutta. And they make an annual ephemeris. They publish it in over 14 languages. And it includes many, many different things, such as sunrise time, sunset time. It includes the phases of the moon. It includes details of eclipses, the longitudes of planets, the starting time of ascendance. It's not a software, it is a publication. So it's a PDF file that you get for each year, right? So we are going to compare what each software gives to what the Rashtriya Panchang says. We are not saying one is right, the other is wrong. We're not using the words right and wrong. We are just comparing. We are saying, look, this is what the government is saying. This is what the software is saying. Yeah, just to get a high level overview. How will we do this? The steps, right? The first step is to make a horoscope for a fictitious person. It does not matter who it is. It's just a fictitious person, right? Let's call him Krishna Bala. Let's choose a date. It has to be the same date across software. And the date we have chosen is 21st January 2023. Right? Why? Just like that. No particular reason. For a very particular place, right, which is 82 degrees 30 minutes east, 23 degrees 11 minutes north. Right? Now, 82 degrees 30 minutes is the center longitude of India. It's the central longitude of India, right? If you take the easternmost longitude and the westernmost longitude, and you take the average, you'll get 82 degrees 30 minutes. Right? 23 degrees 11 minutes north is the latitude of Ujjain. Right? So we've taken the same latitude and the central longitude for the Indian Standard Time Zone. The time of birth, we are going to make it as 5:29 a.m. Not 5:28, not 5:30, 5:29 in the morning. We will use Lahiri Ayanamsa, which is the default in most software, and we will use True Rahu in case you have the option. Now, question is, why are we selecting this? Why not select Bangalore? Why not select Delhi? Right? Why do we have to select such a weird combination of latitude and longitude? Or why 5:29? Why Lahiri Ayanamsa? There are so many other Ayanamsa. Why should we use Lahiri Ayanamsa? The reason being, this is what the Rashtriya Panchang uses. The Rashtriya Panchang uses Lahiri Ayanamsa. It uses time as 5:29 and the location as Ujjain's latitude and the central longitude of India. Now, if we have to compare the software across each other or to the Rashtriya Panchang, we need to align all the variables. Right? Anyway, this is a fictitious person. So this is what we are going to be using, right? And most of you all have this. I have shared this info with you over WhatsApp, whoever is volunteering. But, this is open to everybody. If you have a software, pull it up and you can make a chart using these birth details, and then we'll compare, right? So for now, just take a screenshot of this in case you're going to make the birth chart at your end. Just take a screenshot, or you take your phone and take a photograph of this, right? So you just have a copy of this, or note it down, right? 21st Jan 23, well, 82:30, 23:11 are the longitude and latitude, 5:29 a.m., Lahiri Ayanamsa, and True Rahu. Any questions so far while we give people a little time to take a screenshot? Any questions, any thoughts, any comments so far?
Is this location a specific place?
No, it is not a specific place. So 23 degrees 11 minutes north is the latitude of Ujjain. So if you type in Ujjain in your software, it will find it. It will give you 2311, but it will take the longitude as the longitude of Ujjain. Unfortunately, the Rashtriya Panchang is not done for the longitude of Ujjain. It's done for the longitude of 82 degrees 30 minutes. So ideally, your software has the option to change the longitude manually. In case you cannot, doesn't matter. Just use Ujjain's longitude and we'll talk about it. We'll see what changes in the software because of longitude. Does that answer your question, Shri?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
All right. Shall I move to the next slide? Okay, let's go. What we'll do is we will find certain variables in the software, right? Which are the value of Lahiri Ayanamsa. It will be somewhere in the software. You need to search for it, right? The longitude of the Navagrahas. What are the Navagrahas? Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, and Rahu. We don't consider Ketu. Why? Because the longitude will be the same as Rahu. Yeah. So the 8 grahas and the ascendant in a different way, right? We'll take the longitude of the grahas. We'll take the time of sunrise on that day if your software provides. It has to be from the software, right? Don't go to another location on Google to find the time of sunrise. In the software, what is sunrise mentioned as? The ending time of something called Chaturdashi, right? It's a tithi, it's a phase of the moon. Now, this birth happened in Chaturdashi tithi, right? So we want to know when that tithi ends. Usually, software will give you the time. In case it does not give the time, you can keep changing your time, keep advancing the time to see when the tithi changes. That's another way of finding ending time of Chaturdashi, right? In case you can't find it, leave it. Next, we want to know when the ascendant becomes Aries. Yeah? So again, for this, we need to change the time. We need to go forward in time. And approximately 11:15 on that day, it becomes Aries. But find the exact time. Yeah? There are a few other things that are important for choosing the software. One is cost. So in case you happen to know the cost, let's make a note of it. Whether it's available on Windows, whether it's available on a Mac, whether a cell phone app is available, and whether the screens can be customized. Yeah. Now, what we are going to do is to enter all those values in the same Google spreadsheet. So then we can look at the results in real time. If somebody enters something for one software and somebody else enters something else for a different software, we can immediately look at what the two software are saying and where it's diverging, right? But who will enter it? There are some experts of different software. In case you're available, just raise your hand so I know you're present. In case you're not, then we will see if somebody else can take your spot, right? First, for Jagannatha Hora, there was Devatosh, but I don't think he's available. He didn't reply to my message. So I'll do Jagannatha Hora, right? And the screenshot on the right is a screenshot of that software. For Astro Sage, there was Sudha and Srilekha. Sudha said she cannot attend. Srilekha, I see she's here. Yeah. Devaguru, who was doing Devaguru? I think Srivatsan was doing Devaguru. And Srivatsan is here. Excellent. Then we had Drik Panchang, and there were 3 people who said they would do Drik Panchang. There's Agnel Vishal. I don't know if he's here. There's Shobana, madam is here, and Kareen is also here. So y'all can coordinate, right, to enter the values for Drik Panchang. Then there is Horosoft, and Bharadwaj sir had said he would do it, but I don't think he's available. If anybody wants to take up Horosoft, that would be awesome. Then there is Jyotish app, right? And for that, Prasad had said he would do it. I don't see Prasad online. If anybody would like to do Jyotish app, you're very welcome. Then there's Parashara's light. I will do Parashara's light in case anybody else wants to do it. No problem. But I doubt any of you have Parashara's light, but I may be mistaken. And then there's Astro Yogi, and Tejaswini had said she would do Astro Yogi. Tejaswini is on the call, right? So what we are missing is Microsoft Jyotish app or any other software. If you want to add your software to the list, we can also do that, right? The Google spreadsheet is designed to take any software. Any questions, any thoughts? Okay, what we're going to do is, this is how the Google spreadsheet is going to look like, right? On the top is the name of the software. Then you have the birth details. Yeah. And then you have a box, right, where all the different things are mentioned. Now we need to enter it in the respective boxes, right? And this is how it looks like after I have entered it. You don't need to do any calculation. You don't need to enter decimals, just whole numbers. You just look at your software and type it in over here. Any questions before we open the Google spreadsheet?
Is it okay if we have some values which are not available? Like, for example, Chaturdasi.
Yeah, leave it blank. It's fine. Leave it blank. Whatever you know, you enter it, and we'll take it from there. Okay, here's the Google spreadsheet. Open a browser and type in allthingsvedic.link/software. I'll also put this in the chat window. Okay, it's in the chat window, so you can also click on that. It will take you to the Google spreadsheet. Navigate to the respective tab and of your software, and you can start typing in the values.
But there is no field available for Ketu. Is that okay?
Yeah, because the longitude will be the same as Rahu. We don't consider Ketu. So you will see the screen over here. I'm also sharing my screen. So as you wish, you can also open on your browser, navigate to your software. Don't type it in. No. One sec. Sorry. 1 minute. Hold on. Tejaswini and Srivatsan. You need to navigate to the respective software at the bottom of the screen. You have different tabs, right? So navigate to that tab and enter it in that tab. Don't enter it in the main screen. This is compilation of all the numbers.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Srivatsan, you're doing Devaguru. Yeah. So in degrees, you enter only the degree, not the minutes, not the seconds. In minutes, you enter just the minutes, and in seconds, you enter just the seconds. Don't convert anything, just enter whole numbers. Don't enter the sign, just the degrees, minutes, and seconds.
Sure, yeah.
And for the rest of us who are just observing over here, you can see all the numbers populating in this table on the top. And these are the converted values. And you can see how each number is different in each software. For Drik Panchang, there's something, so don't enter it from 0 to 360 degrees. I don't know if it's Kareen or Shobana. Just enter the longitude within the sign. So it'll be 6 degrees, not 276 degrees. They're not considering the sign. For Drik Panchang. Yeah. Right. Right. This is great, people. This is fantastic. Okay, I see. Who's doing Astro Sage? I think Dr. Srilekha is doing Astro Sage, right? Let me just change that.
Yes, you have done it.
Yeah, fantastic. You found the time of sunrise in Astro Sage. That's great. And ma'am, can you also find the ending time of the Tithi?
No, sir. No, I didn't get that.
You didn't get that. Okay, okay.
No.
Let me see. So if I look at Astro Sage, let's see. Okay. I'm just taking a sample thing. I just want to see where. Over here. Okay, not there. Prediction. Okay. Where would they give
Basic
that?
details, I got the sunrise time.
Sunrise time you got. I'm trying to find Tithi. You know, do they give Tithi over here? Gochar Fal? No. Shafal Kundali. Tithi over here. Ah, here. You'll have Tithi over here, I think.
Yeah, Tithi is there.
Tithi is there. Now you adjust the time to see when Tithi finishes Chaturdashi,
Yeah.
when Amavasya begins.
Okay, I'm
right?
doing. Yeah.
And that time you can enter here.
All right.
Srivatsan, the value for Devaguru 15/1/2007. Okay, that seems correct. What's happened over here?
Sorry, it's 26/1/2007, I think. I'll check it once again.
Oh, okay. Got it. I understood what was the problem. There was a formula mistake over here. Yeah. Okay, let me just correct that formula. Date. Greek Panchang. Okay. You're saying 15th August 22. Who's doing Greek Panchang? I think it is Kareen and Shobana. Can you check the start date of Sun Mahadasha? It can't start prior to
I'll
birth.
check. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Dasha. We have to go to the Dasha.
Yeah.
Shottara Dasha.
Vimshottari Dasha. It is
Yeah.
sometime in 2027. So can you just check that? I'll delete this over here for now. Okay. Okay. And Srilekha madam, Sun Dasha you have entered. No, you've entered it like this. Okay, I'll just change this. It's 26th Jan 2027. We'll just enter it in one cell.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's great. So then I get that over here. Yeah. Who's doing Jyotish app? Is Prasad there? Who has entered for Jyotish app? So you shouldn't enter it over here. You should enter it in the tab at the bottom where it says Jyotish app. No, don't enter it in the main screen over here. Let me just do that. So Jyotish app over here. Lahiri Ayanamsa 6, 23, 14, 9, 28, 0, 14, 22. 24, 58. Okay.
I was doing the Jyotish app.
Yeah, thanks,
I
Shashank.
had my
So,
mic muted.
Yeah. So, there's a tab at the bottom over here. If you see in the center bottom, you'll find
Okay.
Jyotish app. So if you click on that, and then you'll get a screen for Jyotish app, and you can enter the details over here.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, Tejaswini, Astro Yogi, 24, yeah, the format is different, 2027. Okay, and change that. Excellent. So we don't have Horosoft, and we don't have this. We don't need this. Okay. Have we finished everything? Only for Jyotish app?
Yeah, there is no time of sunrise.
There's no time of
Yeah.
sunrise. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just that.
Okay, fine. All right.
Oh,
So
sorry.
let's look at this. And also, if in each software you can enter at the bottom, where I've given cost, availability on Windows, Mac, cell phone, and whether the screens can be customized. Just simple yes or no. Yeah. Yeah. Soft. Okay, fantastic. We can go to the next step then. Okay, thank you everyone. Take a look at the screen now. Look at Lahiri Ayanamsa. Drik Panchang, we need Lahiri Ayanamsa. But look at the others.
Yeah, we
The
couldn't find
Ayanamsa.
it sorry, we couldn't find it in
You couldn't find it. Okay, all right. Look at the Ayanamsa 2418, 2420, 2418 in Jagannatha Hora, 2418 in Parashara's life. This is in decimal format, right? But what is the Ayanamsa reported by Rashtriya Panchang? Let me just unhide this over here. There is unhide. Wait, where is unhide? Unhide. There. Rashtriya Panchang quotes the Ayanamsa as 24.18. And that is the same as Astro Sage, same as Jagannatha Hora, same as Parashara's light. But Devaguru is quoting it as 24.2. Makes a huge difference to every subsequent number. If the longitude changes, your Dasha dates will change. Right? The Ayanamsa itself, there's a variation. Look at the longitudes of the sun. 6.48, 6.5 over here, 6.47 in Drik Panchang, 494848. So Jyotish app and Parashara's light and Astro Yogi are giving the same longitude of sun. Astro Sage and Devaguru are aligned, 6.5. Drik Panchang and Jagannatha Hora are off by 0.01. Now, with the sun, it may not matter, but if the moon changes, then your Dasha dates are going to change a lot. Right? Longitude of the moon, 2399, 2399, 24.01, 24, 24, 23.97 here, 24. So a few of them are aligned with Rashtriya Panchang, but it's not the same software that were aligned with the sun. You see how each planet, there's a different margin, there's a different deviation. Look at Mars, 1436. This is huge, 1433. Otherwise, most of them are at 1436. Longitude of Mercury, 1435. Astro Sage is 1422. Otherwise, everything else is at 1434, 1435. Jupiter, 992. Over here, it's 995. So sometimes the planetary longitude is below Rashtriya Panchang. Sometimes it's ahead. 993 over here, 991. Mostly 992. I'm getting a feeling that these last software are all kind of aligned with each other, right? Jagannatha Hora, Jyotisha, Parashara's light, and Astro Yogi. Look at Venus, 21, 23 over here, 20, 22, 21 over here. These two are aligned. Saturn, 39, 40, 40, 38, 40, 40, 39, 39. You know, even a few minutes of difference, a few seconds of difference will change the position in the divisional chart. Right? True Rahu, right? Now we don't know if all the software are using True Rahu. They may be using Mean Rahu. Very few software will give you the option to convert it to True Rahu. Why True Rahu? Because that's what Rashtriya Panchang uses. In interpretation, we use Mean Rahu. But when we are checking the software, we are looking at True Rahu. Look at the difference over here. 1551, this is 1496. That's huge. That means we don't know when exactly Rahu changes sign. One software will say it's changing end of May. The other software will say end of June. 1498, 1550, this is aligned. Drik Panchang, 1551, 1497, 1551, 1497. This is very low. 1496 for Astro Sage and 1497 for Astro Yogi. Right? It may be because they are using mean Rahu. We don't know. Right? We are using true Rahu over here. Time of sunrise, look at this. All our special lagnas are dependent on time of sunrise. 672, 672, 719. I think I know why 719. Any guesses? Why is there such a big difference over here? 672 to 719?
Ayanamsa.
No. Ayanamsa is aligned, right? 2420 and 2418. It's almost aligned. Why is there a difference in time of sunrise? Sunrise time does not depend on Ayanamsa.
Longitude?
Yes, the longitude. Devaguru does not give you the option to change longitude manually. We are using 8230. That difference in longitude, Ujjain's longitude is at 77, 78 something, right? That is the difference for time of sunrise over here. That's the reason over here, right? So we won't consider 719. Drik Panchang, we need the time of sunrise. What's happened over here? Drik Panchang, time of sunrise. You entered it like this. So you make it 6 and 43 and 6 and 6. Okay. And even over here, 23 Jan 2027. Okay. Now let's take a look. Time of sunrise, 672, 672. It's aligned. 679 here, 678. A little off. You know what I found about Parashara's light time of sunrise compared to Rashtriya Panchang's time of sunrise? Rashtriya Panchang takes the upper limb of the sun to quote time of sunrise. But Parashara's light is taking the center of the sun. When the center of the sun comes above the horizon, then it's time. It's sunrise time. Right? That's why it is a little more. 678. It takes 4 minutes from the top of the sun to the center. Ending time of Chaturdashi, 6:30, 6:33, 6:10. That's huge. That's a huge difference over here. 6:30. Chaturdashi, the ending time of Tithis will play a huge role when we select Muhurta. Right? Tithi is a very fundamental point when we select auspicious times for events. Start time of Aries ascendant, 11:20, and that is almost aligned. 11:11, Drik Panchang. Wow, and even Devaguru, it's a huge difference over here. 11:20, 11:20. Start date of Sun Mahadasha. Now, the dashas are not given by Rashtriya Panchang, so we can't compare it against the standard, but we can just look at the dates of other software. We've got 26th Jan, 15th Jan, that's huge. 23rd Jan, 23rd, what is this? Let's change the format. 30th December 89, no, that's not okay. I guess you didn't have that. I think it was Shashank, right, who was entering it?
Yeah, I just changed it.
You changed it? Okay, let's check. Jyotish app. Okay. 30th Jan 27. Why is it? 30th Jan, yeah. So look at this over here. Start date of a Mahadasha, it's changing by almost 15 days across software. Devaguru is saying 15th January and Jyotish app is saying 30th January. That's 15 days. That's 2 weeks difference. How do we time events when the Mahadasha is 15 days difference? Any thoughts, any comments over here with what you see? You know, one thing that we astrologers, we ask for is an accurate time of birth. Give me an accurate time of birth to the exact minute. If not, then we'll do birth time rectification. We want the exact time, right? But the software is playing a huge role over here, right? If you look at the bottom over here, you will see the differences. And the differences are against the base. Ignore Lahiri Ayanamsa because we don't have that across everything. Let's hide that row. Ignore all of this, right? And then look at this now. Astro Sage, basically this has to be 0, right? When we subtract this number from Rashtriya Panchang, it has to be 0. But we are finding differences over here. Let's color it. This is a difference over here. This is a huge difference. This is a huge difference. Huge, well, it's subjective, right? You can say it's not very big, but this is something that we need to be aware of. Right? Usually when we compare software like this, we have a margin of error. We'll say, okay, fine, let's say a 5% margin of error, 10% margin of error. And then we say what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. But this is how it's looking like. But then take a look at this. Some of these, they're all just 0 over here. Look at this. This is fantastic, right? It's so well aligned with the Rashtriya Panchang. Look at this. And even this, right? This one, time of sunrise, this is because of the definition of sunrise, right? One is defining it as upper limb of the sun. The other is defining it as the middle portion of the sun. So, even this, I would not highlight it actually because it's just a definition problem. Yeah. Srivatsan?
Hi, Vikram. So for Deva.guru, I didn't enter the value at all. Leave
Oh,
it
okay, fine. Okay, for Chaturdashi, is it?
0.
Right. Okay, so then let's just ignore that. Yeah. But these two, right? They are, there's a difference over here.
Yeah, even for the Jyotisha, no
Okay, fine.
times.
Got it. Jyotisha, this one you didn't enter. And this, did you enter? Time of sunrise? This has not been entered. And this has been entered. Okay, fine. Yeah. This is big. Mr. Yogi. This one here. Even longitude of Rahu, we should not consider at this point because we don't know the definitions used in the different software, whether they are using true Rahu or mean Rahu. But for Parashara's light and Jagannatha Hora, I changed the setting to make it true Rahu. That is why I'm getting an exact match. So these two, I will not highlight it in yellow because we don't know. Okay, let's look at the bottom over here. This is on the cost. So if you look at the cost, Deva Guru, I think it's annual cost of 4,000, Srivatsan, or is it a one-time cost of 4,000?
So it can be paid on a 6 months or a monthly or yearly.
But it's 4,320 for whatever.
Yearly it is 4,320.
Okay, it's an annual cost, right? This is annual then, right? But Parashara's light now is 20,000, and it is one time. But look at the other software. Rik Panchang is free, Astro Sage is free, Jagannatha Hora is free, Astro Yogi is free. Available on Windows? Yes, all are available on Windows. Available on Mac? Jagannatha Hora is not available on Mac, but the others are available. Cell phone app? Yes, over here, yes. Parashara's light is not available on a cell phone. Screenshots can be customized? No, over here it can be. Jagannatha Hora also it can be customized. This can be customized. Drik Panchang can't be customized. Jyotish app, I don't know. Astro Yogi, I don't know. Srivatsan, your hand is still raised. Is that now or from previous time?
Yeah, I raised it again. So Devara Guru is primarily a website now, and so essentially, if you have a browser, it's as good as having it anywhere.
Yeah.
They are still, I mean, they are under their development for creating an app.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Romit?
Yeah, hi. Actually, the thing is about the Parashar light, which is mentioned here, 20,000. Nowadays, like aftermarket sales is going on. You can get it this for like 5 to 6,000.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
And you get it from directly from the vendor, or you have
No,
to
no,
get
no.
it?
Like there are agents there. They supply it. They purchase in bulk and they provide it like aftermarket sales.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So around
Right.
6,000 that range it comes. Like any software, whatever you want, in that range they will give it. Whatever software you want. Even if you want that Leo, that thing is there, na? That is also for 20-25,000 when you buy it from there. They give it
Okay.
for lesser price. And there are like few communities. What they do is like there are like teachers who like teach their students, and once like 50 students join together, so they buy it in bulk directly from Parashar. So I
I
know
see.
people in Parashar also. So
Okay.
when they buy it in bulk, they give it for 50, like a 50% off.
I
So you
see.
will get this the same thing directly from Parashar for 10,000. That's how
For
I got it
10,000.
for 10,000.
You got it
Yeah.
for 10. Okay, okay. No,
Yeah,
that's
like
good to
50 to
know.
60 members, when they combine together and they buy it directly from Parashar, they give a discount or like that.
I see. I see.
Yeah,
Interesting. Thank you, Romit.
sure.
So, based on this, let's go back to my. Any thoughts over here before we go back to the slide to bring this to a close? You know, one question that arises is, will you change your software? The one that you are using. Something to consider. Okay. I think you're still seeing my screen. There are many other things to compare, right? This is just the start, right? We have house cusps, we have aspects, we have dates as per different dashas. Right? We have the positions in the divisional charts. We have the starting times of yoga and karana. We have the shadbalas. We have the charakarakas, the Jaimini charakarakas. There is the Ashtakavarga. There's a ton of things to compare, right? What we started is just, at scratching the surface. The point I'm trying to make is, don't trust the software, because that was made also by a human, right? And we humans are prone to error. Double check the software before you, every now and then. So some observations. We need to be careful which Ayanamsa we use. right? Because that is going to change everything. Yeah? Try to change the definition of sunrise if possible and take it to upper limit. Or at least be aware how the software is defining time of sunrise. Usually, most software give you options. Right? Explore those options, see if you can customize it based on your learning. Yeah? And each has to be selected, true Rahu or mean Rahu. Should the year be 365 days or 364.25 days? Right? What is the year? Because that is going to change your Dasha dates. Right? Should Mercury be considered neutral or should he be considered malefic? Every software gives you different amount of options, so explore those options. Different software will give you different positions. We can't ignore this fact. Right? Learn basic calculations to double check the software. And let's be careful when we interpret something on the cusp. Right? If it's at the 29th degree of a sign, if you change software, maybe it goes into the next sign, you don't know. So if it is something on the cusp, slow down, right? Double check, maybe if you change your time of birth, it shifts, right? And when I mean cusp, it's not just on the zodiac, but even in the dates of dashas, right? If something is about to start, according to one software, maybe according to a different software, it has already started. The dasha has already started, you don't know, right? And I'm talking of dasha, but it's also with the antar dashas. So basically, don't get too attached to your software, right? I think that's the message I'm trying to share. And with my research, I found that the paid software, there's better hold on the numbers than the free software. There's a reason why it is paid for. So just explore the differences, explore the validity of these things. That is what I had.